ya ene Friday yi hyewe na fa kasa kire omanfo se achie mu ye esen kasa bebuo nyina de se Ghana be ye na nkunimdie no nso abawie enti saa wo kokwan bia wo patade ye kama se ye top se ye slit ne kaba se ye long dress se ye African we nkwade a kuyaski sebra na obehwew no asiesie amana ye fefefe kai se wo McCarthy Hill Junction oni J University no na edi animhwe obefre na 020 836 4729 020 836 4729 ankane no ni eboyeti maye madwen kra se na yimu baako mebbo meti pa o sister me ye natural enti mebbo me natural hair no na me de chiachia so na me de ahwe me slate ne me cover bisa unhu sa but se ma me phone ba musu na aja omo e de relax ane kan muti na say ya na ye natural fe enti wo penwi a ehyewa ase wa wo dia enye se makoji no wobunya kwala bia ho wa wo dia shefata ebecha mawo ukokwan a ufaya no butu wig fefefa pacho onso no hair mama esebra wa woni tia nails and beauty and Friday enti ukọ afro soro na ko nail section kona kwa your pedicure no na omunyo designs fefefe usi forma no aba cosmetics and supplement section no na no so aba beje cosmetics no body splashes no deodorant no waje supplements nso ebe boa one a day morning evening primrose no one numbi ti wo se na de bia no o skin no ye kama na mpumuden so ewo ho wi anu akokuma nin kente by Z ai enu so Ghana manti da kuche da wi kente na o si okuma nin kente no matutu agusi na fe di hair mama ninye makacho so ko hair mama ho a eye a beauty city on its own now dear friend 055 3837 201 or Spintex Kotobabi Eco Bank Echiwa pay and pay me da wonu masi papa amount for birthdays akikem nti said ya ye die ma mentitin fast na afi yenkeja engum yes belated happy birthday and come Dr. Charles Benin CEO Emma Iconic Legends Limited. Oh, okay. So it is from Dr. Charles Benning to Mr. John Lees Kwesi Ghana Ba Ampere, all the way in Columbus, Ohio. Oh, and you Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Inti ura Kwesi John Lees Kwesi from Ghana Ba Ampere. Dr. Charles Benning, Emma, belated happy birthday. Osinyame unshra papa. And Honorable Martha kwa ye menu kanena oni Deputy Commissioner Forestry Commission onso ene eyewa woda eninti Richard Ajiman oye ex-administrative officer Kokobo scholarship oma happy birthday osinyame enhirawo waye mata edie na asem no nkoso a ene wontina na ye asem no yefo enso nti o ene de birthdays nisa ti chese ye be kosisi a efise honorable nso ache abetina si ache na yemo economy nso ehun komo kakra ohun sa na happy birthday enkoma Eric ni Mansur Tete onso ene ye wawoda enunti odofo na ediabe dede wo sister dede Eric Tete wo sister say ene Tete okay Eric Tete wo sister Veronica dede Tete Emma happy birthday osi ya visha papa say belated one bi wo ma menhwe se me hu a ene na che se maye ne fast efi ho me hu so dia e kire yi meye edi amawo sister Santoa owo jolo na che se yeda amanfo ase anopai ye ne honorable Mrs. Abna Osei Asare oye Etiwa East Emrashe Bedwani na be to say 7 years na oye Deputy Minister of Finance ewo abandada no emu last year be around this time mu na February mu ho ko match on ebra changes kakra baaye no yesi nempo ni afi pepepa owura Jonkuma efrimu yekoso ama na busuafo yakọ ene okunafo nso shedding nti na o sense san ba since say baaye no na obeye Minister of State still at the Ministry of Finance nti sikasemo die ote ebon ote ne pampan opuwesa na no nso ojabi president saa se ai ensema president keka no nti saa na me correct one in honorable brain na be chire mu na economy no muja ne sense muja ne yie a senka ene president wa fix it mo hyeda mo pese president flop it wo se mo ko mo hyeda kra nye sika wa chire nkane ne ade yi entimi nyina so emu amunim mo pese wo fedi ana nti ene honorable abna osi asare honorable International Women's Day emana akonkan ne manyina maame no sori ano party ahasuo no ono nso yoba wo boy adwuma e wo ni office ni dwum ho nti honorable happy International Women's Day in advance
medase na mesomefa wakonye iso na mama emanyina so happy International Women's Day in advance na mafa konye iso ada witi for so ase say omare maso mutie ene UTV so say waton sa afre me say membefa sa mo esteem platform iso na me so me ncheche ni memunti me so me damase na no kre ene exactly 1 year me nua bema honorable John Kuma Efrimu ye kante Nyankopon emfa ne kra ensie na ebusuafo so akase mamu yakọ ye mamu hyeden so eka ho
ye mamu nyina nso osono party no nso ye mamu hyeden na honorable abano de ya to awi na emom ballot paper ne so no spiritual forces ne buy ananse economy ene buy ena Ghana for kire se ye pe economy ana spiritual forces ene pia mu si nchen
yo medase de mekane se me yo Kristoni nti de megidi se bibia nyame ensa ewum
okay
nanso de Nyankopon pe ena oye
okay
ye tosu biom so megidi se Nyankopon amayen akwenya se ya yemfa ye ni embu ni ensusu nioma
okay
na nti abatu ye koto ye die eye enioma bebre ena megidi se Ghana fo ehweye ya nkasa ye party nati committee bia ekọ mpeso aso bia ehwe bisa se den ne ba ye nti a nipa dodo ama meto abasene 2020 nipa pie fiom fie ba beto aba no timigidi se sa nyuma we nyina ba bonten ma ye hu ebinom se ye che yansen ye sankofo ewo positions ni ye che ye soso ansa na ebia omo kasa ye nye bibia e chance na ye bua ye nkofo ye meka ne se ye nya ni nyina pepepe ye nya ni nyina pepepe ye nipa ye fom eni nti migidi se sa nyuma we nyina ka ho bi e na Ghana fo ehwe so e de to aba economy na o kan ho asem no migidi se enye Ghana nko na neoma ekọ atwe wiase afa na nyina sisa ye bebre e bae kane se ne neoma tie no enye sa na sisi a neoma nyina etie na ukọ UK ukọ Western world ni nyina you see huge price increases in neoma bebre na kane no na entisa and interest rates kra akosro and food inflation across the world ni nyina akosro migidi se Ghana for so hwe sa neoma we nyina so eka ho na bia komunya abotre kakra emaye se ne na ya hya ase ma neoma dane no kesesa dane maye mre kakra ka ho a ba se ne me kan de Nyankopon pe na waye nti ye besum na
ye nyame na aye ana se economy no nso mo anye ni yi
de me kan se nyoma mabobo nyoma bebre eye se to de bia wo be piechi no wa hwe wo mu a ye se de wo mu ye o twa kwan no nim se na echi achia se wo piechi na wo hwe a ebia na nkame to hanim sei na se na nkame chia ni sei anam de court ne sei a na beboa nti eye various factors enye se we ya na we ba kope nyina so bebre ba se ne make an eye se be pin echi ni ahwe ne o meyie ni aboaboa ye ho ni asan aba
ene mebusa se economy na mu jaaye no barely enani exactly 2 months see economy na mu jaaye exactly 2 months no obeka se na etesen mo hwa mu ja economy papa na yesika sem tesen de wade kura demu ye nkane asem ye dwadie na forex exchange rate no na ni nyina tesen
me da se me nua ba se wo hwe ye bedi mfie wotwe wo hwe frimra ye baaye no ye nyina ehu nioma ni bia na akoso ye di kan na inflation at the end of 2016 15.4%. Now your debt to GDP ratio around 72%. And aface so na saa time saa mre ne ye wo IMF na IMF hihye nyina na ebu nkama fa so broni be ka say it had been derailed ehwe saa nyoma we nyina
na banking fa so
say a report ayen ye the report IMF for e de mayen ene de Ghana fo nyina enim say omo mayen targets programs no ukwa IMF bi e mawo nhihye e say wudi so na omo ka say nhihye ni nyina om de mo a 2016 NDC aban so ndi so nyina na ebu nkama fa so anase na it's been derailed na enye eno nko aso na nyoma ne de na ye bebre ene ye baaye na megidi se ye baaye ne ye hu nyoma yi nyina ya amfa nye lamentations ya lament se na ayese sen kwan ben so ne ye be fa ye be siesie nyoma
man ka da se aban na okoye no jomama 1 de oja ye ne na enye kra
de make ne se ye hu de ye beto ye na ye boy abosu na nkakra so we from 2017 to 2019 now the average growth GDP growth rate no na ye about 7% and this for there in 3.4% and ye be so mu nkakra ye hwe say industry so ehyemu bi services ho hyemu bi and agric ho so ehyemu bi ye dey a whole lot of policies by planting for food and jobs, one district one factory ni nyina by Kenya ye economy no ema ye hu sa nsunsuanse nyina ye di kind ye toso mienu so na ye exchange rate ye cedi na hoden ene sika ye ne omudi dwane nyina so ye stabilized so 3 years here make ho asem
that is from 2017
to 2019
and
2020 ye nyina hu de si ye me ya bebre ne se ya se NDC form wo ye mamu dia se covid amaso covid ensi covid hunsunsunso bi ama nanso omu free ye mamu kwa amanone ape enne no mo ne wiase afa na nyina nkomo omu di se de covid ye nyina de no mo ka bi ye wa ye president John Mahama o call Harvard o kan sanye sese obi aka ne sanye hunu se covid di abaye Africa poso aye wiase afa na nyina se sanioma ene odi sa dance no nanso eba ye krom ha de a ompese obeji sa de na tu de bia no ne ade ba ko a ha mekese pa
se enhawa waka covid de ma memre mu se ewom de awoken ebi mo so economists ni bi edi kan kra kan se o mobile ye no first term ne de mototo niema no na eye na emom second term no in fact ye ba be wura second term ni mu no World Bank kra ka se before covid no se Ghana economy no wajirega kakra ansa na because almost say ye tutu niama yi a enti abato mu no so de na ebi mu kan say bibia covid ama amanfo aka say covid ne de buy but anha yen aye wo Africa ti say abrochirefo no na enti ade na de bia mu ka covid sa
yo me da say eya mo ka say anha yen a eye nioma pa ye de tutu akwan mu eninti na yare no ye ka say sebe enipa ehwere omunkwa fa wo de hwe se ne enipa hwe omunkwa wiase afa ne nyina ente se ye de eye nhyehyɛ ye pa na ye de tu akwan mu no na nhyehyɛ pa ne nyina sebe eye sika ye se ye nkote den edrumbra eye ahan ne nyina eye sika sem esan se ne di kan covid ba ye no kai se nyuma bebre ye tutu mu eni nti saa ye no nko a ye domestic revenue o se ye parliament se sika ne kase ye bagige no yentimi enye saa sika ne biom esan say companies ni bebre a shut down ebinum elusi workers wo hwe private schools e close down eseweni ense kache oma no mu wo mu no mo te omo yaw eni saa ni mo na aban ko pesika fi mia bebre e de so ase eye ye wie covid no ye hu ehun sunsun so ye wie covid na nioma astart na ye san ye page biom no na ntokoi esi wo Russia ni Ukraine no so yes Ghana force NDC force mayen kan no asem hwe Russia and Ukraine wo hwe enuane a efi ho to say esam wheat 30% of the world's production of wheat free Ukraine neighbor sentokoi esi wo ho a omo be ye den aye den ombe den e produce emamudi bi aba wiase afa na nyina iron rods ene nyoma
NDC for na eka omonko aneka and even Ghana for ni bi because social media be hu say youth no mo say na de bia na Russia Ukraine
nchechemu a eni
monko na ntokwa no ensiye ampa na ye nim ba bia ntokwa yi adru ene nia ekoso but economy no is not doing bad
na make can say entowa sa na wo beka
okay
ma iron rods ekosro ne density form no dem omo ye contracts now they had to vary their contracts because iron rod they be can na ye 2 cedi asem na make 2 cedi ekosro ko 10 cedi nti say what the contracts na say wo ye contractor sa nyoma we huge variation wo be ne den eno enko akire ma economy no ho kan yi ankasa nti ho kan yi no aban cement na se na me mfa me nsa enhye me defem na me nsu na emu me de nhyehyeye beba ebeboa ama despite nyoma na wiase afa na nyina efesi ebi aka Ghana no nhyehyeye die minimu se ye gitum ne ye di akire a ebeboa ne PCPEG no post COVID-19 program for economic growth aban ede baaye no ye baaye ye hwe se kwan bes ne befa so na ye domestic revenue ana ye to a ye gigi no ye betimi ahyem kina ne ya amfa ye ho anto busia boso ana ya amfa ye ho anto obi foforo so ye to so mienu se ne ye nyoma na ye ka se expenditure no kwan bes ne be fa so na nyoma ni bia ye betimi atete so na yetimi broni be ka se live within our means so that your deficit no are the difference between sika ejeje ene ye nyoma ye no anye kese bebre ama ye ni anko ya anko depending on bosia boso eno so ye de to ho ene ye hwe se nyo sa nyoma yi covid sa nyoma nya bai nyuma bebre so ehun kan ye aban se mehwe ankrankra young people omu ye adwuma no maso masen na omutimi ye adwuma no adwuma ni gina anya bi o mefa nipa ba ko mienu miense bi aban de sanima ni nyina bae and fast forward ye de PCPEG no etoto apno mu akwan so ye start ye nioma ni nyina 2022 ye inflation ko ya ko about 50% within the implementation of the PCPEG asemia economic recovery asemia yekin na inflation so what by 50% about 23%. Na afese so you say economy no a start here then enyin bio o hwe free 2024 first quarter to third quarter economy no grew by 7%. Sa 7% enye se ebia ye kua ye nko a industry are starting a PJBM and sir growth it is being led by the industry. Just say you must start a keka omohubium. In na course 2024 wo hwa ye city no ana hoode no etse from pa but ye free na fe de nkakra through programs like gold for oil any sanyoma ni nyina ye ho henhan yen ewo ye sika ye foreign ye forex mu ama nyoma start say ama no ni sika no nyoma start say keka esie ni eni nti say ye castle economy ben ye jaya ye di kan ye je economy na eye on the path of recovery to ye je economy na boni be castle arehemu ana confidence ashase ebemu biom eni nti de ne ye hwe ne say ye wura President Mahama ye waba no you build on the confidence na ye ja no 2024 ye je economy domestic revenue ye to a ye catch parliament say 2024 ebetimi agin ye je economy yetimi age gige amana broso eni nti untimi enka nche say sa economy we wo ICU ye je economy na the financial sector no ye banking sector no o ma hoodin epeja bebre 2016 na o total assets wo financial sector na 81.2 billion Ghana cedis ye kono as at October no na edu 367 billion Ghana cedis eni
eno no yankote $25 million na mo de banking sector clean up ni mfimu ana because you say clean up na mo billion a higher impact
25 billion
you could have used 9 billion to save them rather than use 25
2015 and na IMF any Bank of Ghana any aban nyina atena se no mo ye free bibi asset quality report share bank bia wa hoodin ekita wo and na sa report ni dia dance yes banks ni bi na omo perform banks ni bi na omo ya toto apansam eni nti na esese omampani eye bema na ogina ne na so na oka nhyehyeye ye de tu mu say ti banks we die esese yese mu ye ni se mu omampani enye sa kokodro no omampani President John Mahama nyasa kukudoni in 2016 anya sa ade no and intina banks ni bebre akofom kra ya ba 20
omuti omugitum se na akofom
ya ba 2017 so utie mi a anaka ya ba 2017 no ene ehu se koso anu ntemo a na nkasa ekana ye de yes anima ni na nka maso sa eno so ya dwe ho ahwe ne sa na ye say a stitch in time saves 9.
No problem. Wansano
beto ye buy
no betumi asano
na ye so
de besano no 9 billion then tina mo be
ya mo ka 9 billion anye bia obia ye san hwehwem ne hu se e ya mpampa se na 9 billion ye so ni 2015 2016 anu a e bia na nka be bia na be 2 billion.
Okay,
and it's ye hwa me de me pese ye hwe ni nyina.
Okay,
yes so na bia 2016 a e bia na nka ka na ye 2 billion and so ya dwen ho sa na
but
ye delay ye no and a yanso ano but ye buy ye beso ano 4.6 million deposits omo se mo menim fifiri edi sika akwakoshe bank no ye bo mo ho ban enye sa nka can you imagine nipa 4.6 million omo se mo menim fifiri edi omo savings akwakoshe bank ye ka che omo se banks na collapse nti mu nya mo sika na nka minia ebi ewo a ebi anka nya wo de ne etoso mienu banks no mo ratios ni bebre na enso ani nhyehyɛ ne nioma na ye de to akwan mu ye nioma eka bo mu eyes adwuma and the banks na hoɔden epeja ama se ne make no and no total assets of the bank akosoro no mutimi ma private sector loans nyina ka ho na industry no epeje bioma and ye hu good growth from
banking sector no na sisi a bank for na ankasa wo dey say the politicians ne to ncha bankers na ankasa bi kasa se kwan amufa so amugu omo no na nka hwe ma nyesi yegu omo nti omo hu no se na gua na yabo yetimu po se yebegu omo efi se na omo nye bad se dia ye kanoi
se bia reports ne mba abontin nti se wo hu reports na sa na wo beka na megidi se obia ensori keke engu bibi ye krom ha ye de mra na ye adwuma mra no na ye di so na ye di ye se adwuma no Imra, this country is governed by laws.
Okay.
And inti obian sorry nya di opekeke. Na mom de wo ye nyina ye fa mra kwan so ene de. Inti migidi say mra kwan so ne ye fa ye. Na based on the reports no, se ne nhyehyɛ ne tie se kwan ye se ye fa so no, na ye fa so. Obian mo ni shema anya bibia da. Esan say we live in a democratic country which is governed by laws. And inti say mrani se kwan we so nhyehyɛ se ne yemfa so nyam gidi se sapepepe na yenso ye hwɛ ene ye
na kai betumi a issue less than 25 billion no e de CC banks no ana ye de agu no a chain say ye issue 25 ni nyina na cause amount for that so feel say 25 ne de it was on a higher side
ebia o ka say amount for that so feel but when you are not seated with the factor ebia sa na obeka na mo say ye chow say ni ne koi we kita osika wo baby for 2 years on san kan osika ebinum agi interest wo so so nim sa say ka banks na nka ye o medwuma na nka om no be fa say ka ni nyina banks so dwen ho say ka om ye om ni o meyi a nka de di kan aban bebe mu aba be so ma sen sa sika podo ya na we most of the time want to put the blame on ebia the easier target but you ask yourself people have invested and they trust you to invest so much of their funding in you. Omo dia brew se krama me. In hyehyeye na esesa nka wodi so sign the first place. Kasa reports na beba na. Yeah, let us also stop to find out so that ye nyina baby bia esesa obia should be held responsible no. Ye nyina take up your responsibility. Aban take up ne de, usu take up dia. Together we can make BBBD and so better.
So what are the facts I wa Ghana for nim different from near a bonting about reason ye banking sector cleanup, how much was involved any other because no na crofoshe so na mamu dia make your final conclusion say no when you wait the and Kabanu could have done better say either so be save banks because using 9 billion to save them would have been much better than that 25.
Well, you keep on making reference to 9 billion. That's billion.
And I don't know what records anymore.
Two, the banks, no, every year they publish their accounts.
Accounts, okay.
So it is open. people can see. Every year, you are supposed to publish your accounts. Okay. Auditors. What personal information we need public knowledge. Okay. Because they publish it in the Daily Graphic, they publish it in various newspapers. Okay. And so, some person mu see them with the facts. I say when they publish, you see it, and we share financial statements. Now we share the records. Now what the how a strong bank or what a strong bank should have, the ratios they should have. Clearly, I bet you will say, this is a bank that is going under, and this is a bank that needs support, and this is a bank you're keen to. I mean, let's leave it as it is. Clearly, okay. The records are there.
A case like Heritage Bank. Heritage Bank at the time, the reason it's na modern Maya said you collapsing a bad papers in the court issues was that Nipana or Heritage Bank, maybe a majority shareholder, and our owner said ye bekan or a local balance, no who bon and sem. So then,
I don't think that was the reason. No, maybe you are getting it.
We had that reason.
That wasn't.
So it wasn't like Heritage Bank was not, the bank itself was not doing well.
That wasn't the reason.
But the person is involved in some sort of
It is not
issue.
about personality.
Oh, really?
It is not about personality. It is about issues, and then they try to address it.
Okay.
So it is not about personality. Clearly, me about my menka same way ensure bank enye nipa ba kwa de bia nko abetimi akwakotsena bebi no aka say it is open. I mean you are subject to the Banking Act, you are subject to so many laws in the country. Yeah. It is all clear. Obi nka say obi hu bon asem nti because of that ye collapse of bank. No way. That is not the case. That is not the case at all. There were other issues, and so if you lift that tag and you go underneath, so you will find there are certain things say Bank of Ghana, if you write to them, and then you will write to Information Friend Act, you write to them asking for specific reasons as to why Heritage Bank was part of those banks. Clearly they will tell you because there are laws governing this country and the law mandates Bank of Ghana to give you that information. It is better we do that than to just say, oh, this is it. Here say.
Oh, and yes, so on the June 5th, 2019, January 5th, 2019, Bank of Ghana ma 5 major reasons or revoking Heritage Bank license. That was from the governor then, Ura Addison. Good. One, it was about the bank's capital.
Let me ask you, why are you focusing only on Heritage Bank?
No, I'm just thinking that
quite a number of banks, you understand?
But at least I remember that reason, that it was part of the reason.
5 reasons.
Yes.
And not just yes.
But what I
but I'm happy. Say you said 5 reasons.
It was one of the reasons was that this person, because the new Bank Act had it that so when you issue I'm happy. I just say the wako. Courts.
So you see, you just mentioned the fact that it is under the law.
It feels like
the
I was
Banking
just
Act
victimized.
You just mentioned said the new Banking Act says so and so. So
okay.
Clearly, we are governed by the laws. And
okay.
if through the law you are found wanting, clearly, as for that one, nobody can
you
say
confidently
you
can
have
say
to go
that
through the law.
all the banks were financial problem. Intina ye collapse.
That is your conclusion. What I'm
saying that you confidently can say that. I'm asking.
Per the Asset Quality Review Report,
okay,
and only do so,
okay,
and now you implement it. What the then President John Mahama should have done that he failed to do.
Nti obi a betwe ebeka enye obi akeke o omo ana omo ye shareholders of those banks eba beka say they just victimized me because you can see me twen me hu ampa so me twen ye me hu ye they just did it to me na me report you okay. This bank report here okase by yearly okase na me records here okay inti me mpo me nim ye nti ayegu me banka ni oka na nye nokre
you nnuaba me nya akwenya kosom me man no I got the opportunity to get closer to the banks.
Yeah,
you get to review omo issues nibi.
Sure.
And enye ni nyina na ba bonten so there be we have a planner ya hwa ya se we die enye. So then your planner, your name so that you get back on track.
Okay.
We have things like that. But then you na ye ba abonting because customers sika ye den e wo ho.
Okay.
So it's not everything na e be ye de ba abonting in the open. But there are instances meaning some of these banks here ye kan ho asem. They had a plan and they decided to work with them on the plan. Binum ediweli plan na ye ne omo.
Omo de den ediweli ye.
Say you are supposed to meet a certain target at this time.
Okay.
You fail to do that.
Okay.
You are supposed to do this at this time. They fail to do that.
Okay.
With numbers, no performance, and the better. So if your mouth a certain time period, try and build your assets to this point.
Okay.
Try and reduce your non-performing loans to this point. Try as much as possible to work within this framework to increase your depositors funds. Nani nyina say untimi within that period. Sebe. Baby, there are rules guiding these financial operations. And so if you fail to meet them, there clearly the law says do A, B, C, and D. And so we do. I'm very happy, say you made mention of the act. There are quite a number of details, but I don't want to sit here and speculate. And you make all those detailed information, no? And then you can under another danko kufado your man penny or trade mukoye, no? Yeah, the RTI act number, so you can stand on that and demand exact answers
for that report.
For that report.
Okay. So economy from 2021 COVID. Okay, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023.
Yes.
Na enkoyi.
Yes.
Now catch say free 2024 econo afi na ahase epeke
enti no ye dey easy peg ne buy
ye mo je economy a eye kama mama mpeda da mama
economy on the road to recovery. That's what I used.
Pacho sa no sa bro no say o de ba twi mu a
pacho ye je economy a na ho oje no epeja be hia se ye be hyemu kina
na ho de hene he if say kan economy a wa be kan so why buy tre enti he fa ne won na
kan say e buy ye towards na domestic revenue we are building on the fact that 2024 it me achieve your targets e ma ne bro so
okay
your GDP growth so 2024 from Q1 to Q3 na
Q1 being first
quarter 1
okay.
to quarter 3 from January to September.
Okay.
There's been an average of about 6.87% growth. And the year enika wo mu say sa mpeje is coming through your industry. Your factories now, your factories now start here adwuma biom, e mo start fankofo bi, won start produce nioma biom e peja ye dwadie mu e wo ye man mu.
Okay.
Near Tosso, me and Sansoso.
Okay.
We undertook the debt exchange. Debt exchange, no. My main country say, one of the painful but necessary things are necessary. Buying a year, I didn't nine a see from a far, a tour, busia bo a home sem. And inti a buying a year, sir. Mra ye koye, sir, Jumedie, na every year. Ye. On my mudia e say domestic debt exchange near course so koye external one.
Okay.
On my mudia na ye di kan ye kokoye nipa close to 95%. Okay. Na ye pe a target of 80%, but nipa be 95%.
Okay.
And omo je penny and na omo e my die na aban se ode sesana interest rates e kosru bebre ma eye aban din se obetua bond coupon rates no. Inti aban ka say ye with debt exchange nen say ye gi mu de na mo wo no interest rates na mo wo no na assign any emre na edas no na ya hyehye emre a ye betimi etua ma mo na afi so ya ti interest rates ne so na so mu sika na eda ho ne de obi amfa ne nsa ne den enka and I make say it was a very painful but necessary decision that aban eteki ye wie ne ye call ye to so a ye busia bo a ya gi e wa amanone and so through that no yetimi aye 93% of the external debts no and also so yetimi aye a savings of about 8.1 billion US dollars.
Okay.
Ntimi di say the di kan ate ye ka say yetua when we start resuming a ketua ye busia bo biom say yetua ti ye sanima we nyina e ma aban so ye den ho ehenhan ne kakra.
Okay.
And nti wo hwa ye to a ye gigi any de di sika ne ye no na wom biom say ye de count ye di sika ni bi etua bosiane yaje no and nesa anyuma ni nyina den akofom ti boni beka say the deficit no between deficits na between the revenue and expenditure any financing no and so nyame adom akofom de bia ya ba
ye jeje to a ye de mu o ham nche mu be say diosunum ebetuatua bosia ti kakra bi na beka abansem no sesi enti sa
bi ade eso ate
okay
eso ate
ababe percentage saying
oh first now we could do about 31 to 40%. But see idea above from greatly. I don't have the exact figures, but above from greatly compared to prior to your domestic debt exchange and I say external debt exchange.
So yeah, you keep saying debt exchange. Yeah, so because of this sinking fund, omo coupons braso yetu amo no. But minim says abre no mu chire mu. And so no anya Ghana for de. Say me bru fi aduanan. Nanso mani fie yi menti say obi say ma bo aban bosia makoto bond ama mensa nka misika. Inti edian ya na ehifan na economy ni dru ya inti na esese e banisa se omo se ye nye kra no chinchin amo se ye de mu behim na pensioners ya betina ho one of the days you even went to meet them and na oni omo kasa ye uti se de omo kasa enye ni pasem inhumane adana mo tete ye sika. I was like uti cha say can't the government listen and feel for these people? Why? What's really accounted for that?
Yedi kan say we never felt for them.
Okay.
And yes, we were never concerned.
Okay.
A very painful process, but it was necessary.
Why was it necessary?
Because
what's accounted? Because from
interest rates.
Soldier time okra yeba.
Soldier time. Soldier time. Nyoma a twa so. Esi wo wiase na soldier time e bi nsida obi anda andwen ho da se bi say covid e be sida obi anda andwen ho da nti events bebre
honorable covid Sputnik V ni won say me mampani ma makra so be investigation because people feel like the past government benefited from covid. We got loans from covid from IMF.
Yeah, so can say we got loans, we got ena ma cheche mu say ye sika na de bia na ye di ye adwuma no during covid no yankasa ye domestic revenue ye ntimi enya ne sa.
Okay.
If we still have
because
to run the economy,
if we still have to run the taxes,
teachers fought na feel more than 9 months are buying consistently when no productivity was being added. You ask yourself, how was the government able to do all these things? Mia bebre, even approaching they laid people off. But then I make a choice.
Teachers, even if teachers go to school, their addition to the productivity is not like a businessman selling something. Yes.
It is where their productivity level
on vacation and they stay home during vacations and we pay them.
Ask yourself, do they stay on vacation for 9 good months? No.
Okay.
Obia comes to the table with something.
With something.
Teacher for productivity very high.
Okay.
Teacher for anko school na so obati fear na SSL uko ejuma. How do you adjust all these things? Okay. So on productivity very high. And nanchem medikanya kase. It was a very painful process.
Okay.
Sa and DDP. But when interest rates had gone so higher, now government are it difficult for government to service those debts no. Did say na SSC a can of create Ghana for. And see a can of create Ghana for no. A majority of them it decided say omo be penny.
Okay.
Now omo tender in omo bonds no for the new ones na ye day ban. A section of them can say penny. Na aban say ontimi enye ntia na ode esremo no. Say yes sremo mo je ye die edibe na ye die edibe ni ahihye say ye betua no twice a year which is February and August.
Okay.
And na percentage na ntimi and tender in omo bonds no. Onu na mo ba be pekete e wo ho no. Nti ye ne omo ye nhihye ye. Say as and when ye raise ka no. It took us some time to get the money. About and it took government some time to raise these monies. Into share there were a section into near tia wenum kakra, near tia wenum kakra, because say you must stabilize it.
Okay.
And then who be as why peketi wo hobium. And our faces almost so almost do sika e buy and when you beka say almost tender in on bonds in there consistently near tiomka, ye tia 3 times. And sana ye free ho. Na ye free ho so ye make sure say sebe February aban abe oba ye ncheye yen Jessica aban na betimi edi asebese February coupons no, and that was what we did, and President Mahama was happy to go to town to tell everybody that they have paid, but so, clearly
Momo time no say time ni bi so ya na ese mutua coupons ne ma wo. And I remember papa no dey saying Professor Anane de bia oni mu betwe da say time aso ye coupon time aso
eno ye oma tender in.
Okay.
Dr. Anane de dia ne ye oma tender in.
Oma anye
DDP no cry.
Ntina omo na dru so say ye tua wo interest na.
Because we struggled and we encourage all Ghanaians to come. Oma mbaso no. Na enye easy mind see betua.
Okay.
But ye ni omo ehye ho.
Okay.
So they be amre ne beso say e be ebe ye na ye nyan sa sika ni nyina. And nti na ye ntimi.
That was 2024.
That was 20, but
that
eventually
was the economy I was say na pick up.
No, it was around 2023. Yes, it was economy I pick up because
na pick up na ye dey no.
Because the coupon for omo tender in no February ye tua August ye tua.
Okay.
We made sure say even August 2023 we paid.
Okay. So you nim say ye kwaje bosia bia ye nim say ye dey abosia ne brebeson ye betua. Enti ye mo bo photo ana say esese aban bo photo a ye di sika betutum na ye di akwa akotuatua sa bosia no ne ho nsem. Eno na mo sika se mo no mo ka no buffet no. Na mo no buffet be na mo ja wo ho. If you said this week and last week eba no e wo be ye ensem bebre aban timi tua mo si oh aban susu boti waka bi wa hampo na ye ja buffet na sinking fan na ye Jessica aban fon so se de be sika na mo ja ye mo nim kwa ye fa so a ye nya sika ye de atua coupon ya amachuo nti mo ja mo chi san
yo me da say ye di kan mra na ye transition no.
Okay.
Ye che omo sika the first 3 months ye betia say wo hwa say we are buying bia na say be elections na okwa mra na ka say wo be budget for ye kind of budget in quotes for 3 months pe.
Okay.
Your friend no expenditure in account of appropriation.
Okay.
Until say new government be ba no no aba be ye the budget.
Ono ane die.
Until for the first 3 months there MPP are buying and a year budget no.
Okay.
For the first 3 months ni enim say coupon payment due in February and okay. Inti ja enough sika. The American say
ja wo foto be mu.
And na make catch and na me ba be catch on say o hwe ye PFM Act na. Section 37.
Okay.
I sure say that talks about the sinking fund.
Okay.
And I sure say the government may set up a sinking fund. And yen share. I say the government may nti yen share. And na ye wo foto bebre a yetimi di yesika etum. Na ye di eyi ede ye nioma esese ye de ye se oba aban. And ye de fund yesika sem. Ebi ye TMN account, ebi ye wow special account a obeti ato say mate sika we e de ato sa account mu obi amfa ne nsa nka na me de koye dwumedie say sa ene ye coupon payment no ye IMF returns no mo de mayen for December no
IMF sika no
e ba for December no say it is for expenditure.
Okay.
And ye ring fence say a little over $300 million.
Okay.
Eto ho say
na sign the buy kafra.
What say?
Sign the buy.
I think it's 365 or so.
$365 million.
Yes.
And I moved $300 million.
A little over 3. Nina coupon payments cost I think 325 or 3. It's between around 330 million.
Okay.
And now you making sure you just ask the
okay.
Say coupon ebe due.
Okay.
And during the transition. Ye bo mama ne say nhihye ye say ene aye
okay.
Eni nti say President Mahama beka say sinking fund the 64 million ene che say the finance minister ena wan ka asem no nukwem say ne tie anche because during the transition ye ne omo tena ase chechre omo ne aka ye nim say we eye due say okay. For the first 3 months
okay.
Because for the first 3 months no budgets no ye MPP aban ene ye nti ye chechre mu nyina ene ye gya to ho eni nti na meka say President Mahama the obeka mi na mjidi say esesenka oka a balanced view of senior nioma etie. Because I'm sign ka say
kafra IMF sika no mo de ton de mo ring fence e no na da fund be
you don't need to fund we have the here say what ring fence their two accounts mo
say be anti say man fund to sinking funding na say o ko sinking funding na de wo ho no enru 300 million would you fault him
kind PFM Act no PFM Act you may
Okay.
Set up a sinking fund.
Inti mono na enye inti man shut down concentrate or sinking fund na.
Asia enchese chinchina no pe and there are various sources buying editua nika.
Okay.
Your team in account, your special purpose vehicle, your friend SPV.
Okay.
And your what sinking fund. There are several. I buy any one account, say chinchina account we pay. There be.
Okay.
I buy
so
you
be Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance. No, I Deputy Minister of Finance for 7 years, you know. Na mono accounts no the hina na modeye for buffers as for debt management.
We didn't have one account. There are times so we put money in the sinking fund. And I make sure say we have special purpose vehicle accounts, SPV accounts.
So now we use SPV.
We can also use the T-main accounts. On a second, your domestic revenue second echo. And now you can use the sinking fund. Uji sinking fund account details for the 8 years. You realize there were times we put several monies in there.
So na ebuamo account no. Na ebuamo ne mo balance.
Would you say you make sure say ukawe e due? How do you pay it? Whether you free sinking fund, they don't care. What they care about is that okanasu wait here. That's all.
But maybe say mo Ministry of Finance na mo ya aban amubu nkunta no. Na mo ye ne sa e ma mo nkunta buo no sisi ani. Ye
de ne say we make sure say baby BS can will be amre ne so a yenya ye de etua. That is it. There are times we kept money in the sinking fund. There are times we created special purpose vehicles for to ring fence certain amounts in the accounts. Now it's me e de year payments when it's due. And there are times we also use monies from the T-main accounts. Okay. I know see a but the most important thing is emrene besono. Na when you sika we den with the age.
Okay. So still me busa say apart from DDP foi ye wo ya te say ye will be more ha bosia ni be mature this year SSC ekotua. Mo ya aban ya makosisi a enche ye no. Hefa ne hefa ena mugya mo chi se mbeka se aha ye ntoto ye to honum se aban ya obaba bia no se bridru se bosia we amature ani enim se 2025 e bi be mature ayi betua nti okofoto we mu a sikadem
me da say 2016 President Mahama ka se oja $250 million it was sinking fund.
Okay.
Na sika se etia ye $1 billion. External debt se etia odija in 2017 $1 billion.
Okay.
Se be yanka se weja in 250 yen kofa 750 ni we. Yanka sa yet na se ehwehwe kwan e be fa so a 750 na aka na ye betua. That is the essence of governance. Say bringing your ideas on board to make sure say whatever responsibility that we need ubetua. Say be throughout the year aban be gigito.
Okay.
Already from January to March aban e be gigito. Enti first quarter no ye be hu eto a aban naje. And it's up to you to say eto no me the 20% tua say. Na me the 20% so I me other expenditures.
Okay.
So it is the art of governance. Say me gidi say sa no so you expect to say almost on and you feel say immediately after no baffle for the first 3 months, what can we do to help? Then let us leave sir IMF sikano yenja na omuntimi and translate it into cities no monfandi juma. I don't know me did say yeah.
It is obi tinchen otie ya wo say ene na chese mo anhye da ampepe ba fas bia nto ho say botia ya bo ebe mature no de aban bi obeba bia no o mehwe na onfa no enkotua na asem maseti aban ya obeba ni say on failure na
ene de me so me kan na bia it wasn't clear.
Okay.
Me so me kan it wasn't clear. The me kan say nobody says say this year ubusia obetia $50 billion timas just cannot to ama uba no ba betia. Remember there's time value of money. So busia no betia in December was maji me the $50 billion na to.
Yeah, nyam to but you nya foto na ebeka so you say 5 years time you busia bia ye 20 e bia levies no e bi be kwa akotum.
It is up to the government. See we are no more in government so the levies and everything after 7 January 2025 no it's in the hands of the current government to collect those levies. It's no more in the hands of the MPP to collect those levies.
No, to say what we did was sinking fund.
What we did
no ye debate ya yebosia no there na munso mu ye say SPV na okay
and na make say ye ja 300 and something million edi 2 mu a car e due no omso mdi tua say you mu ja 250 million
na car sign na ye due
and yet me the tua can nyina the 6 billion Ghana cedis. That's what they used to pay the 6 billion coupon payments. That was due. Yes.
Okay. So mu use SPV there wo mu ni nyina
na mo there are various sources of funding. You bet sources are you bet me the tua your debts.
Okay.
Nti the ejamo no a car na immediately due no. And immediately. So going forward, you are the government. You don't sit back and say, yeah, na ye mecho baby ometia. You are now in charge of revenue collection. You are now in charge of the management of the economy. And need to bring your ideas and strategies and policies to bear.
Okay.
And let it happen.
So back to, as we are setting you up to fail, no? Yati say, President Mama Akada, and Minister to force and so Akada say, no economic dialogue, na say no. I say almost every state institution, Edeka, Cocoa Board, the now President State of the Nation address or kind, ECG, Edeka, Ahadika. So I'm thinking, economy and I shall say peke. A dientina na a council amene womusa.
And can we still say a car minimum? Maybe you are seated with some facts being in here.
What they said. They said, yeah, with your mic cannot, the amount
because what they said as sacrosanct. Such that when sometimes the documents they came to meet. So they are using the records you left with them. We also have those documents.
So whose one are we going to work with?
That is what I want you to ask yourself. Give us a different figure. Ube can also be a different figure. So that is why make us a nyankopon wadom na do danko akufo adom reso mampani wetwemuko or the RTI act ne baye. Information is obi ntimi ntna so bio. Nti ECG no neka. You can I'm coming. Okay. Nti information obi ntimi ntna so bio. Okay. And if you want information to give a concrete fact. Now the two will be challenging. You seek information. Okay. Also, you might say the state institutions. And this is not the first time they have gone through a process like this. Okay. You who say there are certain state institutions now they were struggling. One, ECG. Okay. And a car, as a result of the power purchase agreements are now apostle. President Mahama time one more call 2016 na eka da ho 2.5 billion US dollars. Okay. Yen kono eka da ho 2.2 billion US dollars. So we pretend as if say it is yen pen yaba beja cattle. No. There are challenges in that sector. And uhwe ya IMF program ye call ye one of the issues that we needed to address ECG. And it uhwe ye documentation ye the new ma to akwemu ye the programs, ne policies, ne targets, ama ECG, ECG, meeting all those targets. And it's you can say during the transition with the energy sector, can say this is what we have started, and this is where we are. So it is up to you to take up and run with it and make sure you implement it. And what IMF documents, when yet will be no one is and consistently say IMF for reviewer, ECG, one of the major targets are almost two. Cocoa board. ECG. Yenim say enhyehyɛ ni benis okay. ECG wo accounts when yan bebre. Nti wo recommendations bra mo kwa IMF no. Let us or PRC the way by. Let us have some particular account because my account ni when yan dodo. Then afi mo ka mo de nso mo nyusu de mo frɛ no cash waterfall mechanism. Na mo fa ntua. Aye sikasɛm ni ade no. Anya hwe na energy sector wom but mo so na mo wom. But as o mobile o mama yate say san hyehyɛ ni nyina no ECG amfa anya adwuma. Ade na mo tena ho ma ECG ye ne sa. You me da say cash waterfall mechanism ye IMF for ne propose ye ankasa. Okay. Ye propose ye. Ena senya meka ne ye anko IMF ankasa ye ni hwe nti mo nkyerɛ yen de yen ye. Ye de yen hyehyɛ ye ekoye. Ye se mo moa yen na yentimi implement yen hyehyɛ ye. Okay. Ye di kan ye ka se ECG sisi asom gigi eto ni nyina omon fan to sika ba akum account ba akum na ye de to account ba akum a ne ye won krofo a esese ye tuomo wi ansa na sika na aka ne ye de aye nyuma bebre esese omo ye. Okay. From time to time omo ana ye assess ne ye hwe eni nti na omampeni na do danko akufo do hu se na omo nye ne sa no ukai a ye yi ECG MD no. Okay. Okay. Muyina no resign here. Well, Dubik. Yes. He had to resign because you share programs, no policies, and you agree with the IMF. So Muyina now go and resign. You make kind of say, well, when we realize say things were not going the way say we had to do something about it. So and you say abai etna sena ya nyehwe ni monitor from time to time and we expected certain targets. Okay. Yes. And inti uhwe ya cash waterfall mechanism along the line e ejuma kakra but anya na sane SSA
and so we admit say so sir na mama na anye said SSA
institutions nipa and running these institutions. So anytime government who say, but that was Dubik wasn't the first ECG person who had resigned. When the government said, I think the previous one, so there was a resignation like that. Yes, you who said Nyoma enko year. Mijidi say when you are faced with the facts are wow ye MD one kasa you advise yourself. And also enanching. But cocoa board so we had issues. And also so we agreed with the IMF said this is what we want to do. And also into share the strategies, ni policies, ni programs also eba for cocoa board na ye diso nkakra. Cocoa board kano it enye eye ka eda ho de daada.
The moka say legacy na abanya ba.
Yes. But then we are trying as much as possible. But the truth is that sometimes we take very hard policies and decisions via banking sector na sometimes you ought to take very hard decisions.
Okay.
And me did say senior idea ba ko President Mahama account the State of the Nation's address me there. I'm hoping say and yet mere say and talk.
Okay.
But we this no say say the cash for water mechanism no
cash water
for mechanism be ejuma now face also single account collection no aye ejuma.
Okay.
And so these two things and I'm going to hold him by assess him by na me bon paye say obetimi any sir because oye ne sir ekoye ma Ghana ban nyina Ghana fo nyina enye onipa ba.
Okay.
And so
for that say ECG any all the other power purchasing for no betimi aboya me anya sustainable light energy assets where ansana moko ana na mo adwen mu no dum so no beto ache because enche kwa fa mu ya musi dum so ho dum so ba na it say oh the names Mahama is synonymous with dum so nti mo am no musi dum so aba wo parliament mi ti mo microphone bi o muka dum so moko no mo hwe eche say dum so no
we had a plan.
Okay.
We had a plan.
Okay.
And now you follow.
Okay.
Plan ni bi ASN ECG ebe nya nyinemu nkania betimi ejina so. Plan ni bi ne say omusika omo gigi no ombetimi di bi ato fango fango na etimi keep the light. We had that plan in place.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying so it's up to your president John Mahama say obesum na odiarane. But we make it two statements. Say one obe ensure say your single accounts no omo be implemented to the letter now face to the cash waterfall mechanism no so e be ye ejuma say two things ye ejuma. I don't see why we shouldn't have sustainable life. Yeah.
So economy na peke the be 2-3 years I say but we say the 1 year peke e den na Ghana ni a oho odi be gina so aka say ampa me hu say afa die na eyeye the entire me bisa sa na say in 2024 mo ma mo ho target en ka anya hwe no inflation be ba like 18%. But as at the time now mo kono inflation was still in the 20s. I think 23 or 23 point something.
23.4.
Inti no na became mo no
yo me da say ye ka economy a enye inflation nko a ye one of the targets are ye de hwe to assess the health of inflation. But we share inflation and you say inflation say adie ba kope.
Okay.
Inflation is a mixture of so many things. The dinya ba ko ai wo ye inflation mu e nnuane and food inflation.
Okay.
We share consistently na food inflation akosro pa. Getting to the second half of the year, yenya dry spell.
I say pay by
usually they use it in the second half of the year all right but a form year ding ensue anto ukaya
that's Ghana for no benya problem me ma wa no currency ensue anto we are expecting our dams to help. Where are the dams?
Oh minia ba let me finish. Ensue anto where you asking where are the dams? Map around akwa ye G2 mu say dams no it wasn't well done into yentimi anya the outcome na ye nyanya nti say o ka say bisa me say where are the dams and I don't think
we were expecting that there will be dams. So, at a point we realized that the dams were dug out. At a point we say dams in wo ho nti say first part
we admitted
the first part no na dam na mo anya the dams na ye focus on ho na ye dams
that the dams na ye see no ye ntimi amfa achieve your objective ni ye ka say ye be achieve. And so when I say Insio anto and now cast dams now and just say you are just being just below the belt thing now, but to be honest, yeah.
Because below the belt. Because we expect to say dam
no, when you knew very well, say we had traveled wide and even said say the objective for which you set it up dam no, you achieving it.
So that was the first part of your term. So the second term, once
we did not go back to it,
and we didn't go back to it,
and we realized that dry spell no cause a lot of havoc to young farmers no, not just in the area of food production but also mankasa livelihood cut short into then a buying as I say a buying quickly a saw massing a boa into a buying purchase fertilizers near a couple of other things, but that's notwithstanding affecting you.
Okay.
And so food inflation components no are very high.
Okay.
And we are hoping say nyame aye NDC for aduma on mabano. They'll put measures in place a back curb food inflation, and that is what will help address inflation figures. But then they make say 2016 NDC forecast on by 10.1. In the end, they did 15.4. Okay. But I don't think say nunti Rebecca say and I say. But what is important is look at the underlying factor, the air course at the end, and let's address it. And then be 2017 now inflation caused single digits until 2021 you must start to say yes. And so you look at what is pushing that inflation and address that thing. And we were successful. Intermediary say NDC for so identify say a food NDC for identify say a food inflation. No, they should work at addressing food production.
Momo set a target mama home to me achieve. Na se president Mahama ni team aba afi mo hyase mo toto aboba park ni so esuo we a wo kan enye no kre ye de agya fix it do this we ebusa say mo moral rights no say mo be kasa a kire na wo be yi ano say
yo me gidi say yen ka say etisa ma president Mahama nka say etisa
okay
ye kan say oni no kre
okay
say wo ba na wo be to say ye gya sika say wo ho a kan sa Uba now beto say 2024 your targets for domestic revenue akosro akanisa. Uba now about beto say your GDP akosro from the previous years and ample from the uja 3.4 na kanisa.
Okay.
Ye can say new money be ye nkasi yatsna ye bibia pepepe. Give a balanced view. Be honest about things. Say we ya nye ni ye. Na udi also ya nye hwe kure ye. Obi a ya pass 3 IMF reviews. Say we IMF for no me independent adjudicators. Omo nye ye nkofo aka say o ye omo bomusire omo ye nkofo no maka ho asem. And so you cannot say hwe ankoso bibia anye ye. All we are saying is that give a balanced view. And for us we are ready any day anytime to make sure say best support to achieve whatever it takes to build on that recovery now. Our partner increase the confidence in the economy and then get more people to invest in the economy. Okay.
Obi tension because so IMF for no there I say you musuban omone World Bank no aban bi wo ho a oyade okopa unya na no ho ne de aha no onye ni ye aha no onye sei nti in as much as moon to me influence you because omo ye external adjudicators no ebi mo so say I analyze omo show more diplomatic relations kakranti aban bi ho a obema no good report aban no corner for bape afi na obe punch holes
ye mra ye wa aban mu nyina fi 2017 ekosi 2024
okay
nyina so bia ye current finance minister engineer so de kan IMF report nyina so bia odi ye ni debate di juma wo parliament ni IMF report.
Okay.
And it is neither here nor there.
Oh, I see.
So
will you be surprised? Say, at force and Subekono because IMF report to say more in your buffets. IMF report to say economy was not on road to recovery.
IMF report here will be. Yeah, me and son. It's ye kita ye report.
Okay.
ya ye miensa nko a nti yen ye kita ye report
but after makwe let's say that Obeka Q4 nti be the Q4 beba from October to December now the aba Adekye Tuesday obe ready budget no Obeka na ye be different na will you be surprised
yeah owo ho kwan say IMF report bi odi about the tuja but ye de ni say de ye gya ye no ene ye gina so ye di ho adanse ye say enye ye na ye growth ye check growth rates no Ghana Statistical Service.
Okay.
So then if you tell us Q1 to Q3 Statistical Service say an average of 7%. Now uba now because any Statistical Service now boa. You ask yourself, where are we going as a country?
Okay.
Consistently we have used these reports to guide us in the management of the economy.
Okay.
Enti ye ka say baby e da no fato ho ya anye ni ye baby susu a ye ni ye no ese se o ka say ye ni e na me betina ha me ka say me ni age say President Mahama say ye di kan obehwe say the cash waterfall mechanism e be ye adwuma to the letter me ni age the tosu mienu so o say obe make sure say a single account collection no obe make sure say aye adwuma me ni age
okay
e san say me gidi say e yade pa the tosu miensa so o kan ya e ye me de ene say rural teacher incentives no e wo ho but ye nya akade are implementing or see obey implementing many agi because I have a lot of rural areas in my
as
constituency
an MP.
And me gidi say the rural areas also deserve good teachers.
Okay.
Oh, inti new money be a ye no as I say can say etisa near enyen so also but on ka say me dey me buy we nko an me hu sa there be ye nya.
So yen show mo pese Ghana economy na yeye as the largest opposition party, do you want the economy to do well?
It is not in your interest in the interest of every Ghanaian.
Timo pese
economy wo me any unkofo wa he nyina.
Me pese economy ni
ye nyina ye pese ye Ghana fo bia.
Adenti na manko economic dialogue no.
Na economic dialogue na be ma economy na ye na me nia.
So omoje adwenche now there no ahead of budget. So we na omoka, we na Ghana for can stakeholders which you are a major, you here not you Abena honorable, but you political party MPP, Musa minority in parliament. Mo betumi abeya aban any day anytime. Enti munsu insusu na mo opinion mo suggestions so beboa pa. Na so manko.
Yeah, me da say. Ye kan say Jidi say me nuaba Ghana for to aba ma NDC and the President Mahama based on manifesto mun sema omo catch omo say mun mami akwenya na me ba ni o say na pese me.
Okay.
And na Ghana for gina so de to aba e ma o man penny.
Okay.
And if ni e hwe se waba no e no no de be ye adwuma but as any o pese or implementing some tough measures bi na nti your person dey fa national economic dialogue no ka che gan say ye ko economic dialogue ni kra omno mo ka se yenye se nti eno na me ba be ye wura Ishmael Yamson kan sem ba ko da no mo koy o se
wan ko nyina so follow ye
me hu my joy online every day bia me kind social media
na ji go ye di ni ma on ko read ya
say one say wo ho nko a de ya de me kind de den ya e be to me press mo ma kind.
Okay.
Asem ba ko kan ye me ni gi ye say we are sia fa na nyina obi bi o pese odin sachira ye ba no enkita nipa dodo onsem ikita oba ko fo onsem.
Okay.
It takes the leader.
Okay.
So President John Mahama is the leader.
Okay.
So he should do what is required of him and yet excessive consultation e be ye bibi asema ye wura Ishmael Yamson can say we are sia fa na nyina wherever there has been transformation it's taking one leader.
Okay.
So that is what we expect from President Mahama. Say, okitani manifesto, on show leadership, no implementing manifesto no, and yet excessive consultation ebeye bibi.
Which one do you call excessive consultation? If you say, hold on, no, every ana e-levy beba no. One would say, a man for mudi can boycott you know. It was that there was no larger consultation. Until over the years, yabe who say consultation die ebwa na ehia. Two, ye ka say na civil societies no can say winner takes all bako for winning into ordinary ideas ni bibia say mwa impa esanse me na marry ni to no nko ade ye adwuma nti se ne o se o me stakeholder engagement nti marry ni de me nko ase me pese me yese ya metumi aye nanso munso mo meka mo de na mentia is that not the positive way to go? I didn't never say, oh, ukra manifesto fire jumana and beje abena adwenche because abena so I read that sikasem nimo. And never say, oh, ja excessive consultation dey say dey.
You me that say. Minia, ye nyina ye nim the processor ye dey back up with your manifesto.
Okay.
Obi anko tena dem nipa ba akopɛ emmo ni sremu ntro bibi say me manifesto nie. Wo set committee, mo atena se. No ma komu baako bia de na dwen kire aba mu wi a ma bɔ ne tofa party bia manifesto so wo dey call the various groups so for example how call civil society for so the manifesto ko kan kire o ko teacher for ho o ko nurses for ho o ko churches o ko bebia ye nyina e ba news so ma ye nyina ye hu ye ti wa ye sa nyoma we nyina ewi a one waba hit the ground running and let us see. That's all we are saying. Because our process in na uye ni nyina sana Ghana for ehwe so dia to abama manifesto ne nkofo na yeye uwie ye minim so we engage lecturers minim so we engage civil society minim so we engage all these equally important people in the society.
Okay.
Business people who engage you omu nyina.
Okay.
Why yes anyo me nyina deda. So why waste time? Say clearly we say economy ye ICU a. Ade e why ICU dey agene show. Edine show dia nya kona ye na ye nwie
but doctors is ade no ICU a show no crash so ya no mu ye slow kakra
Debi o ICU dia debi
ye ni ago
ICU a matter of time
so one share na wakoma wrong injection no
wo check kakra pe ICU mere na ye mere time no a year of the essence it actually are buying time wasting time say no not just say salt ya say wait just say
you think they are wasting time
they are just buying time they can say
buying
you have
time
a manifesto
for what?
To allow the national or per se or implement some decisions via they want to come under the back of the national economic dialogue.
Some decisions be no
it will come na yenya ye be hu
sir
yes
e then na be ba ye be hu
so budget stay ba enyame boa next week into year train yes
okay.
But all we are saying is that you have gone through all these processes before and Ghana for Gina so say I have seen this. Okay. So I want to vote for you to come and implement what you say you want to implement. So
okay. Until they believe in economic dialogue in any way.
I think the market nyina say why ni nyina did that or ye ni nyina sana Ghana for to abama no.
Okay.
Per processes na you follow for manifesto and then the engagements now political parties have with obi bia on a manifesto why ye did that.
Okay.
Omo can say he's done all.
What's your expectation from the budget about Tuesday 11th?
Oh, dear, may expect it, and me did say from your side, ne Ghana for be expecting say confidence no on shemukina, the confidence in the economy no.
Okay.
Na build it up no. On sustaining.
Okay.
Hu hia papa. Se bibia be year e be gina the confidence people have in our economy.
Or the dear ne be sustain.
Ya shas ye build it material numbers no so far of the yetimi aye.
Okay.
How can we sustain these numbers MPP for jaye no? Omutimi collect revenues hit your target. How can we make sure say domestic revenue increasing cutting out all the loopholes, plug loopholes na yetimi raise the needed revenue without necessarily increasing taxes, but proper tax administration. What are we putting in place to make sure we meet all these things? Okay. Two, after so we will only look at the very important things in your expenditure. And yen your ma boy say when we don't have any source of funding yetimi edibabe yes adwuma we. Okay. And na after so ye toso biom ne se nioma na ono aka de bia na esese nie omo eja ho no ye ba na ye beto aso ne ewie nti nioma na ye ntimi enwie no untimi nye ni nyina prekope so ubase wie ni nyina prekope but you should have a plan ye betimi e bia within the next 4 years of na aban no yebetimi aye na yetimi de ewie saa ne omani nyina not a net budget na on but a strategy for the term ni nyina say how do we complete the projects na ya sha ase na yenwie no kwan ben so ye be fa so a ye be ye ni die nti saa nyoma we ni expect one say ye resources na ye available no ye be use efficiently. Two, ye be have a strategy for all uncompleted projects across the 4 years, not necessarily 1 year but across the 4 years. Where I say a person or partner private sector so you expect to say a proper assessment of the project to be done so that you be the actual cost na ya short change aban.
Agenda 111 ehe na mu kan se mu benya funds free na mu dia complete
yo me da se so o kan sa agenda 111 ye starting some with yankasa domestic revenue. Ye twice
I consolidated fund mo ana
ye twice revenue say gigi and two ye to also so a ye nya esika ye nya free oil ye free bibi e wo budget nim oil no e ba e ho proceeds ne ba ye wo se ne ye chiche no ye di bi ba budget nim ye free no annual budget funding amount into share budget me ye free bi ABFA ho ne ye de sa sika no eto if ye de sa enu bi ye di bi ye free SHS and ye di bi so eto ho a ye de ye agenda 111 Inti ye no agenda 111 de na ye de fa Ghana investment GIF aha ne ye de
Ghana infrastructure investment fund
ne ye de film ne ye de amomo no omo de aye so bi aye project a contractor bi ane na ho de nti ye na ya estimate say ye be wie projects nyina in 1 year dabi
o say
obia estimate say ube wie projects nyina in 1 year you projects bia e bia maybe ko mu de
say below the belt
there be
but project ye sha say ne say 1 year and na say ye shortcutting simultaneously ninti one would expect that simultaneously would complete
ma contracts in same day. There were places where they gave 6, 7, 8 months after the first one had been done. So you don't expect say obia there ebeye the same. Two, projects bia contractor bia ne na hoden e bia wo contractor no obetimi ewie earlier obi susu ntimi wie nti ni nyina eye wo na wo be assess say this year ma hwe say there are 35 projects me hwe say bia there will be 20, 30, 40% completion. 40% completion, how much will it cost me? So then let me cost it and put it in the budget and make sure say sa contractors need the omo certificates eba metimi eden etua. We took advantage of the pandemic to make sure say district be a district ubenya hospital. That was what we did. I know say it was a very big and ambitious project, but we felt say let us not let this slip by. Districts ni bi wo hwa
even district that Christian from saying
Christian Health Association for hospitals
hospitals President Mama feels like and come over to me aboa o mo no mo atena ho in say Rebecca say oh so let's say Techman South Holy Family na keep you mo a intin say bia menka say ka ho when say bia Rebecca say oh Techman South ye mamo government district hospital back no adenti na ne mo resource and mo support Holy Family say your resource omumum rather than see a basic for because it feels like no nice afa any omo competition yen so asika ni
competition but you look at the population in an area and you ask yourself should there be just one big hospital in the area? You look at all these things. Techiman South Holy Family ABA or one particular place. Districts nso kwa ko see another place ebe accessible to the population ni nyina. And it's not just about one penti or sanke ye share one nimkina. But have we asked ourselves the population of the area? Don't they also deserve be a 1 or 2 equally good hospitals so any dey be an ombeba regional capital Aba hospital but if a hospital is well equipped
argument and now what is statement president Mickey say we have 1.7 billion now they are complete na train na musimo wie no kra no na no so no community account ko bae no sa monwie ba ko pe no kro fori krom de no so honorable Vincent Kofa baby a completed by honorable Minta Kando says baby so kra completed to say that I completed kra share adwuma ase na ma spend 400 million and kese say it me completely 21 to 22 hospitals and yet in we back operational. What's it sa ensem na what will be your reaction?
Yeah, transition. We never quoted an amount of 1.7 billion.
Okay.
So that amount is wrong. 2.
Maybe you didn't quote, but ono amane Crawford estimate aba. Could that be?
How is that possible? Within this short time frame, it is not possible.
It's not possible.
Say, because assessment and one day event.
Okay.
2, have we asked ourselves?
But about 1.4
billion. That was what we quoted.
About $1.4 billion, not 1.7.
That was what we quoted. And 2, have you asked yourself, say, Sebi, we say you're complete here, but take time. Let's list all the projects and ask ourselves, projects way percentage of completion. You're saying. Sa year 2024 you see 400 million sika aheneko we project B, and then you realize say all sika kan me sure say obi be or present in certificate bia ya ma bibi obi bia ni there's no projector yakase ya chese yem fa asompo embo from here. All the projects are at various stages of completion. Inti ye pese ye proper assessment obeka say opa yem fa ye de ne nto nchen. Let's get independent assessors. List all the hospitals, look at the percentage of completion, and then costs. We are 75, 25, how much will it cost us? 22, how much will it cost us? 50, how much will it cost us? And let's have a comprehensive view of this. That is when you can say, oh, yeah, 400 million, look at the stages of completion.
Yeah, 400 million. Anka SSA, it's me 21 to 22 of them.
What is the guarantee that see it me? But now make us say, have you asked yourself the other ones, no stages of completion are na?
But when you ask for prior to election 2024, your commission traded, you know.
Yeah, commission be yes.
Your commission yes. And no dear bad TV so. Yes. And so enye juma. Enti sa no de enti election ti na dia ho pre kokko.
Dia na ye de akade be na ehia na ye de nipa.
Okay.
Eka ho na ye juma. Meanwhile, necessary, you employ omo. Eba ya ban ye necessary nyina egu. Until say National Midwives and Nurses Association epeje owu. Ye hu ze bi asisi ya bebi akosi krampo so omo to validation so no mo to validation.
Well, na no kwabra mi ta kan honorable say o challenge obi aso net ni ba ko pemeka say omo baaye no omo yinedi. Oh,
menua. Nti let us see eba bontin ya president of Madam Perpetual eba bontin be kasa nti ye hu ana. Sebe nurse union for no more in politics so they think about their members so enti sa ade na obeka set sa.
Okay.
Seminia akade aye hia the manpower to work. Ena ma yen kan chem so say
manpower pay ana manpower ne ni aka.
Se mebe kasa ena manpower.
Okay.
Ena 2 equipments.
Okay.
Ebi wo hono ma ye the equipments ni bi egum. Yen kasa ye de ni nyina egum. Ma ye the equipments ni bi egum a say o manpower e betimi asase ye ejuma. 3 yen kan hu so say ye projects bi ane hand over. You still have 6 months to identify all the faults in your man. Oh, baby. Na yetimi eye ho adwuma anameboa. Yes, ye map projects be how hand you over projects are. Contractor me was 6 months. Wow, ye dear man no. We share problems be until say you identify problems be the contractor is supposed to fix bibi bia ye hu a atochima. Nti we there I don't see why say ye man yen saso ne say na ye see ye wie kwa. But yeah, projects be contracts and was 6 months.
Say you spend the sika of that amount.
Is this the first time yeah projects ebia yakwa yehu bibia SSA u si wan kasa o fie dan ko betime chia contracts na wie u move yen hu say aha nsio pete nsio to so ha nti contracts na mbra no be ye we behave as if say it is umenia let us you be ankasa say you're wrong am ankasa wrong.
Okay.
But as much as possible let us have an open mind.
Okay.
And not have and no more so my na ade ni cry ye but you be say you hand you over 6 months abana 6 months aba and na end here e be ya abanika but 6 months in by if we have seen any fault or identified faults the onus lies on the contractor to fix it. That is the law.
And so it is one thing. But in this instance, that your commission hospital, meaning that our equipment are ready, so our human resource, then we can task government, hey, post nurses or doctors or health professionals.
And let's task government to post nurses, doctors, and other people.
But what we saw
and then
in equipment,
equipment, you will not get all in one day. You will not get all the equipment and wires in one day. Right. Sometimes over a period of time.
Okay.
But the most important thing is that you can provide some services for the community. I mean, because you have
as much as it's not completed.
That's what I'm saying. Provided you can, Chief's compound in your man, are they to the status of district hospitals? No,
of course
but
not.
They offer marvelous services. So what we are saying is that there is some good in everything that we see. Okay. It is not always negative. We should know, say, yeah, they are buying sika and I deal with. So let's not run it down. Let's, you know, we be say, and killing the confidence in the economy. So let's look at it with an open mind.
Down, or they are kind of asking for proper accountability, value for money.
Value for money. And I'm saying, say, your handy project is 6 months and by. The contractors have the right to go back there and fix any problem. We have what it takes to fix it. Yes, so you're complaining. Yes. It is not sika ediguo.
Okay.
The contracts and the law says contracts be all handy over a project. 6 months, your friend contractors liability effect. Okay. So for that 6 months, when there is any fault, you will have to fix it.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay. Where the Ebrene Yasuna, Mamin Kaya Asmania, you or the Boabasu Umpesia, so now says you are making a remarkable impact in the Tiwa East constituency. As a constituent, I'm thrilled to witness the fantastic work you are doing. Mida me fa ukromo no ma traffic ukro ni mu dodo.
Correct.
I don't know mobile ukro mu pa wan hwe se kwan no se mu be bypass so se den
bypass ni yeah fofi ankoto ata
ne hefa traffic ne dos
by a shase na anu ya me ne road minister edi ho nkomo
ukoye
na anu ya
enu akofre governance agboja uni ni didi
na se ya shase ya ye dru
owanye
me wo ho no ene ye ya ye edru mpempenso bi a ya ban ani subium na so project it's a big project it's ehia se ye betena se na edi ho nkomo
okay
no catch me po so no mo edi kan po any contractors na wo sa honom ni nyina
okay
ehia
okay
ye hwe kwan ye be fa so a ye be ye nioma eni nti omo nka makoma ntom yem ye be di echiwe ye hyase ye nwie aban foforo aba there's continuity in government etwa se aban no etoa so na yetimi ewie ni nyina so be ye yahoden ye to ne ye sika ye beje ebeka ho ene innovative ways aban besimi de aba ni aye sa nyuma we nyina nti we will hold the government responsible and we encourage them and help them to make sure say yenso ye die bi ese fata na yenso yensaka
hey ube hold responsible CCI okay what will cover that seminar na me busa ye nua be baba ko so ban so say or the full circle say why is it that NPP always use COVID and Ukraine to cover their shortcomings? What happened to the electricity bill that were collected in COVID era? How did you use the foreign aid money? Then health minister Ajimameni said because Ghana fulfill say as a COVID point, you know, Crawford Omobrofo was belabored. They be a COVID. Into any say what church no. He's asking say why COVID, why Ukraine, Russia Ukraine.
Me say oka say electricity bills are yetia COVID nya na any be na COVID time no nti Ghana ha because COVID time yentia electricity bills, yentia water bills, mokaya aban efasa ekani nyina. So all these things expenditure.
Be most of perception say later no musa beji.
When you na expenditure
okay say aban so nkane aka no. Enso ni nkane na mo de chair no. Later no ye say ntua yo.
And I make us say when you nyina expenditure na say aban no at that time no aban efa.
Okay.
Then so na see etua ECG foka or see etua Ghana water foka. And nti sa sika ya yenya e bi bosia ni sika yenya e bia na de ma ECG na de ma Ghana water. And nti nye say ya anje no definitely na also mutuom workers ECG tia workers Ghana water tia workers. Nti sika ya mo kase na COVID sika bebre ba e de bi mo mo. Mra na ye ma mo nyome free ye de bi mo mo. Ye wie ye no. Se ne wo kase bia ye gye ye. Aban de bi oje to. Nti eto no gye ye.
Okay. Oh, the one that is praising you. I lost it. Okay, Bakubi by na Obo Wabaso say you are one of the finest appointees. Baku ono abane die. Ono ne die no anu ehye na said ye meka abasobo die no nti because did you talk about percentage or you talked about operations? They've chopped all the money. Please, which of the monies have they chopped? Brana Beka wansem. Me share enkrofo comment na me bisa mo. Me bisa special prosecutor na o declare wo minister. I will share na sibe 7 years and any year juma. Urufu yata. Ebra declare no wanted no. Oyem show. Were you surprised? What was your reaction?
Me dey say bia se ne me betina ha me kan no. Ye krom ha, ye ne mra na ye juma. Eni nti se wo famra kwan so ye bibia. Obia ene uni asem. Na mo so wan famra kwan so anye bibia. Eno na ye ne wo ebe wa asem sanse we are governed by rules.
Okay.
Nti so wo famra kwan so now dey ye juma.
Okay.
En se be se wo hwehwe bi pese wo chi na enye ni fie a obebo wura nkofo bebo wura ni fie na ebe ma na ye legal. But you also ase.
Okay.
So wo se wo hwehwe obi wo frɛ no OSP Mrano ye wo hwehwe wo parliament mra me wo parliament and their processes are the first would invite obi e de ba say bia wo pese wo question on ABCD so bi sa ho say sa mra kwan so no fa so ana se nye sa mra kwan so no fa so dia ene me gidi say we live in the country governed by rules and so we should follow the rules.
But did you panic? Maybe also why deputy finance minister dey now because near my bobo so say cathedral say SML deal say we you
say BBB e wo ho bia wo troba na upenti ase a whoever dealt with it obema unti ase and so okay. I don't see.
Okay. Nana question says she's speaking the fact. Escobar now says, yeah, Kunama, good morning to you and your former deputy finance minister. Me alone, our former deputy finance and minister of state at the finance ministry. Yeah, please tell her that this same president of GRNMC came again to say no nurse was affected. Don't allow her to be throwing dust in people's eyes. So,
but it happened.
But your Ayana Mwansuma authenticated. Amami, why? Tom Haruna says, good morning, sister. Please tell the MPP MPs and full soldiers to stop giving brand new president and administration pressure to do all things for Ghanaian. And the more expected President Mama Beye Nyama fofro.
Oh, say, and I may catch you on say. Yeah, sure say whatever it is, there should be a strategy for the 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, because we know that Rome was not built in a day, so we don't expect everything to happen in just one budget.
That's fair.
What we are saying is that across the 4 years now, share the ubetimi aye.
Okay.
Ebe yield this one results na ebe ma economy and confidence are sustained.
Okay.
And then 2, how you can efficiently utilize resources that are available to you.
Okay.
3, how you can cut expenditure. And then at the end of the day, make sure, say, whatever you do, no, the well-being of Ghanaians is paramount. That is all we are asking for.
Tuesday, mobile boycott, and I be home. Budget reading, 11th March.
I didn't know we say boycott.
Economic dialogue.
Economic dialogue did not take place in Parliament.
Okay.
Parliamentarians ne yekwa ejuma.
Okay.
And inti ya said ye ne say ye nko represent ye man ye mpesua so ewo chamber nim. Inti ye said ye bi asese ye ne ye be ye ne sa.
Ahofa be na mo de be kona no state of the nation na mo she black.
Me pe won ko afu bi no mo medwudwa me style ya we dwudwa me bi na eja me dwudwa
me hwese wo be she green and white. Arabo adofe that's papa so.
Yeah, where do you
Oh, live pure.
Speak true.
Right, wrong.
And follow the king.
Nada, unko kage ni ge de sa se mu na me di. And I learned from the best. Arabo pay that's pa. Bibi o wa mama wan kana.
Oh, ye me kan say ye nyina ye hwe se oman no ebekuyie. Isanse ye nyina ye ti oman ni.
Okay.
Ya sedie bi esese ye de boa NDC ene President Mahama Abani ye beye. Na mu ye kan se bebi eda no onfanto ho. Isanse untimi nka se 8 years nyina ye baye ya meye de ye ya meye ade papada. Na mu ni esese eda no onfanto ho ye ya ade a omo ya baso se mo ya ade saa ne ye hwehwe no na mpese ye kache omu nyina so se ye de akomapa ebeboa ama oman no ejina ne na so
beautiful
na mapa bi ebefuma baby am gidi se ebeba ama ye nyina se Ghana for.
Thank you. For Kane so for be the church sikasem to so na last year by this time so be so for ma on mine no or as ye krona sikasem to so every mono any etiwa east emrashe bijeni honorable Abena Osei Asare Osai Mrs. and honorable Mrs. Abena Osei Asare and oba here pacho and oba so making kind and who so or me old girl but was still made now some coming say me to me hu ni asem na honorable ye da se pa bishan for musu ye da mo se de da ekoson ya eni pitri nti nyame adoma ebe na da budget ni ko wi a if you dance me ye sure say still ye be kan economy na se ai vim lady be kan bread and butter issues ye e ya na ehia pa that way eno ane ma ye nije sikasem nko yi a uniska kra wonti apo nti eho no ehia yin papa apa ba me endakuyaski sa se ewo matade yi na me kan for honorable se wo de so pekuyaski sa onko obepam de ni occasion ne befa enade o se ya Ghana 68 years victory white kakra green no so chese da so awo ye kwaye ne yen sa ase no na ye sign so aisha ase se ebi amaye enunti a new beginning nti mo se enede o chen UTV o twa me green and white also kwa kuyaski's best sortel fefefesa o McCarthy Hill Junction oni JE University no edi animhwe freno 020 836 4729 020 836 4729 utimi ni so de the hair mama emi DSP na chese mi do so po etai ho se utu aton ana ope ba ko bi no me say Freddy hair mama so be ko nso akoho we be follow no TikTok nso a Z Nails and Beauty aka the hair mama Spintex Kotobabi Ecobank echiwape we be friend na 055 3837 uni aba mama ya kramani nyame ya domo a edwada Adekye Nsroma besiaba ene efiada wokwa yi wokwa bedinto wani age susunom nsa no owura hoso a susunom onom nso a menka ka na nya ahweye na nsa no krabra na nsa mu hwe nsa no dodo party na wokɔ no so eni cake basa so obolo no menum no basa edibles wom wokwa abusa se edibles ne yede yi omu de wi afrafa ti wa hwe anu akodi die yeni no wa high ti die obedi bi ahweye enum nso onya nsi ho enum wo drink mfansi wo se eyi hwe mame se ye nipa dodo aye ti table me hwe ade aba enye bi da wo sori afa nso kita wonu kunkura ne to afa wade kita wono girl ne te ho afa wade kita nyame hwe wo so no nkra edwada ebi hia wate yakram